Hello, welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. Delilah just perched up here today, so you get to see her for a bit until she gets fussy and leaves. And you can't see him, but Poota's trying to get in my lap, so I'm just loved. So this week, alright, yesterday I didn't check in, so yesterday was technically the first day, but I finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I actually just returned it to my library. So I don't have a copy anymore, but here's an image of it for you guys. And, I liked it. Solid 4. I think I wish there was more to the romance for me. You definitely had a lot of that, tension at the beginning, but I didn't feel like I personally got a lot of payoff from it. But I am really excited to pick up the second book. I'm excited that it's going to be a little different, so I'll probably get that in the next month or so, but I liked it. And so I've continued buddy reading Crescent City with Kayla and Brittany, and I'm about, I want to say 250 pages in, maybe more. I don't like when Kindle books don't have page numbers. I don't know what LOCs are, these weird locations, but they're not helpful. But I guess 34%, whatever that is. And it's definitely a Sarah J. Maas book. I'm not going to talk about it with spoilers. It's definitely one of her books. Definitely her description style is there. So basically what I'm saying is if you've read, her other works and did not like them, I don't think you're going to suddenly like this. Yes, it is more complex. This world is really cool to explore. But, it being adult fantasy doesn't mean she's changed as a writer. But yeah, I am enjoying it. We've got some cool characters, although there is like a plot point right now that I'm a little confused about, and I'm hoping it makes sense and we didn't accidentally just like drop a character. I'm a little weirded out. But it's been a really nice, fun page turner read, which is kind of what I want right now after my couple weeks of more dense reads. This is nice, quick paced. I'm enjoying buddy reading for the first time since probably 3rd grade when I buddy read like Prisoners of Azkaban with one of my close friends. So yeah, it is fun so far. The plot has just started really. So that's like, I guess, another thing. Although it's really quick, I think the first 100 pages is really setting the scene, very world buildy, which I don't mind. I don't mind getting to know these characters. I also find with me and Sarah's books, I typically care less about the plot for her. It's for me more getting to know these characters. They typically have some sort of like baggage and like I want to see how new relationships form. And this book I like because yes, they're forming new relationships, but it already had a lot of really good solid relationships to start with. And like I mentioned in the last vlog, I really do like this world. I just got back from the library though, and I figured I'd show. I got Sorcery of Thorns, which I've been wanting to read. So of course, another library book that, I don't need because I still have like 5 more to read. But I'm impossible. And then my boyfriend and I have been watching Avatar, Legends of Korra, because we already finished Avatar. And we just finished season 2. And, there's kind of a lot of work from home stuff going around because, the world's on fire. But I got seasons 3 and 4 of Korra. And so I'm really excited because I remembered seasons 1 and 2, but I can't really remember 3 or 4 besides the ending. And I just remember liking them so much that when I finished watching these over Christmas with my brother, we went back and rewatched the whole thing. So really excited about that. And yeah, that's my check-in. You might be getting a little bit more check-ins depending on how often I'm encouraged to stay home. We shall see. Hope you guys are doing well and, taking care of yourself. Hey guys, welcome to this check-in. I finally had the mental health strength to record something, because that's a thing this week. Mental health is for sure a thing. But I have been reading some stuff, continuing with House of Earth and Blood. This has been fun. It's a Sarah J. Maas book. I'm perfectly happy. It's everything I expected it to be. I'm now in like the love story arc that she typically uses, and I am here for it. It's just comfortable, and really, I'm good with that right now. But I also decided to pick up Memory Called Empire, because, I don't know, I kind of wanted to finally dive into this, And it's a cool space opera type story, and which I actually don't understand the definition, but I know what it is when I read it, if that makes sense. But it reminds me of that discovery I would feel when I first started reading Hyperion and things like that, or Dune, and I'm really liking it. So you have this empire. I can't pronounce the name. I've been trying. Teixcalaan. Well, maybe there'll be a word for you to see, but it seems that it really matters language and poetry in that empire for its communication, which is pretty cool. But there's also these stations, and there's an ambassador sent from these stations to go to the empire because the predecessor has mysteriously stopped working. They needed a replacement, I guess. And so she goes to figure out what's up. But there's this other cool thing. So the way the station's culture works is they have these things called imajos, where you basically get the essence of someone's consciousness combined with yours through like a, I think it's, I'm pointing to the back of my neck because I think that's where it is, but there's like a chip reader. And you basically merge with this personality to become a different person because you will gain their experiences and also their emotions towards things. So it's great if you're an ambassador and you can get the consciousness combined with yours of the previous ambassador. It's a way of transferring culture and data down the line. So that's like a really cool concept that I haven't actually explored before, and I'm enjoying it here. But the Empire doesn't have that, so there's kind of this idea where you don't want to maybe give that away, because maybe who knows what will happen. I'm really early days. I'm only at chapter 4, which is like page 76, because it's a denser read, so I have to be more awake and focused, but I'm enjoying my time. And it's just been a while since I've been in a nice chunky sci-fi, because it's like a high fantasy where it's a lot of words you don't know and you have to kind of get acclimated. But luckily this book's got a glossary, pronunciation guide. I also went for a walk yesterday, and I foresee more walks in my future. But I was listening to the First Law again, and I don't really have anything to report. The last 4 chapters were kind of lackluster, except I did enjoy, what's his name? Giselle. He's been in this fencing tournament contest training mode. I don't really know why, for the prestige of it all. I guess you get a better job if you do well at this contest and win, so he's been training for it and complaining the whole time. And then he meets with Glocta, who actually did win the contest back before he was crippled. Because I don't think I've said this before, but Glocta was a prisoner of war and did not come back, with all of his facilities intact. And so they had like not a heart-to-heart, but they had a verbal card game, I guess is how Giselle is explaining it. And after that, Giselle's like, I'm just going to quit. And then he meets up with Ardy, West's sister, and she is drunk. Like, so drunk. And she just like goes off on him, and then afterwards when he leaves, she's like, well, I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to go do this. And it's just funny that like that's his response to me. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's the world is coming together. The characters are kind of not getting closer, but if my memory serves, it's kind of like if you've seen the Avengers movie, you had the first Infinity Wars movie, and people kind of got paired off into clumps for a while. I think that's what's going to happen here. I don't know, but I'm enjoying my time. And so yeah, it's Friday. I spent an hour at a grocery store, but I got waffles, so doing good, getting the important things. So yeah, I will probably check in when I've read more. So it's Angela real quick, checking in with some damn pear, because I've been reading Crescent City this morning, and I was just having a nice time, escaping. Things were fine. And then shit just happened, and I'm not okay. And that's all I can say, obviously, but I'm not okay. I forgot that this is like a classic part of this arc, is that I have to be really stressed for part of it. Anyways, so I'm gonna go dive into some booktube, because I'm not ready yet. And the people I'm budding reading with are a little behind, which is fine, but and I don't want to talk to my friend who's already read it because I don't want spoilers. I'm just like, obviously enjoying myself. So yeah, that's the quick update. I am yeah, it'll work out. Maybe. Hello! I think I last checked in on Friday. It's Sunday. And I finished House of Earth and Blood. Actually, I checked in yesterday because something insane happened. That's right. Sorry, my brain's not great right now. But I finished it and I liked it. I don't think it's like my favorite Maas, but it was a good ride, really good escapism. I think there were definitely some things that she chose to do in the story that I'm like, why'd you do that? That's really meh. But I don't want to like give spoilers, but there are like moments where you're going to be on a roller coaster and but the ending was good. And it really like if you're worried that this is going to have like a cliffhanger, because I know some of her books they do. This is a very contained story, so you're all good there. And, it obviously opens it up for the rest of the series. There are some things I really saw coming, but other things I really didn't, so that's cool. I didn't like how the major plot arc wrapped up, what I considered the major plot arc, but that's like my biggest complaint. Otherwise, it was exactly what I expected. Great escapism. It was what I wanted, but now I'm really excited for later tonight to dive into Memory Called Empire, because this is kind of a meatier read, and I like reading light stuff like Maas, but I think I need something a little chunky right now, so I'm ready to dive into this heavier sci-fi that haven't picked up since I last read it, and it's really calling to me. So yeah, that's what I've been reading. Also, the world is but my brother was really sweet and sent me this cool camera, which obviously I'm not using right now because I'm holding it, but I bought like a ring lamp, and I have this camera, and I have this microphone, so maybe I'll try and figure out how to use technology that's not a webcam. No promises, but I do find myself having more free time than I thought I would, so, it's always a thing. Hello to the end of this vlog. It's been going. Sorry, just adjusting a little. He's put out for the end of it because he's over me being home, but I don't care. So yeah, today I have gotten a little further in to a memory called Empire, which I've been kind of slowly digging into this week. Still really intrigued at it. It hasn't grabbed me yet, but I'm really enjoying it for the most part. So you have this ambassador there that I think I've told you guys about that, but her experiences are really interesting. She's in this new situation. She's very confused because she was supposed to have this like literal voice in the back of her head to guide her, and it's just, it even says on the back, her one connection to home has gone silent. So that's not been fun for her. I think my one complaint, but also I think something I like about the book, so, this is all very, I'm only 100 some pages in thoughts, is that sometimes there are story developments that happen really quickly, and they feel really rushed compared to some of the other styles, so it's just an abrupt change of pace. So, 1 minute we're really like absorbing the culture and the nuances of the politics, and then the next there's like a big disturbance, we'll call it, without revealing the plot. No licking. So that aside, though, I'm really enjoying it. I think part of it is just my brain's really distracted, so it's hard to really get into it. But once I let myself read nonstop for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm really immersed and I really enjoy my time. So it's a good book. And then because mental health is important, I went on a hour or so walk today. Get out of the apartment. It's kind of cold, but at least it was sunny. And I was listening to more to the First Law trilogy. And so I'm now in part 2 of the first book. I know this is going really slowly if you've been watching my weekly vlogs, but I just really don't listen to audiobooks that often. But I am enjoying myself. I just don't commit a lot of time, and it's like a 22-hour audiobook, even though I'm doing it at 1.5 speed. But which I guess maybe that's slow. I don't know. But Let's see, I just met Pharaoh again. So for those who don't know, there's like, I think 6 or 7 like main characters, and she's, I think, one of the last ones we get introduced to. And so yeah, she's always intense. Yeah, that's a good word. Like, I don't mean that in she's intense because she's a woman. I mean like she's intense. Like she's, if you look at her wrong, she will kill you. Like, I think that's fair. I think that's intense. So she's interesting, and I always remember I liked her, but she always felt like a blatant way of exploring more of the world. Like, I think that's part of what's good and bad about these books, is that these characters really are just ways for you to experience the world, which, what better way than through characters? It's just also like there are those classic archetypes. Okay, she's from like the desert country, and we have people from the north. And so some of these things are falling pretty classic medieval tropes, which I know because this is a reread, but maybe why I wasn't as in love the first time around. Because, like, I had just read A Song of Ice and Fire before I read this the first time around, and it's just like, oh, well, these are all very obviously, they're very connected and similar. I mean, vastly different, like, plots and characters, but, it's just, sometimes I like when things are a little different. Like, I don't know, A Memory Called Empire definitely has its bones in space operas that I've read before, but the fact that all of the characters who have been major so far, except for maybe one, are women, which is pretty big for sci-fi. That's like a big deal for me. I really love how strikingly different the two cultures we're introduced to are. I like that the dedication at the beginning, I thought it was so intriguing and really sets the tone for what this book's about. This book is dedicated to anyone who has ever fallen in love with a culture that was devouring their own. Like, yeah. So, I know I'm back to Memory Called Empire, but I'm really enjoying its content and its comments on empires and borders and cultural exchange, like that whole thing, xenophobia, just, I don't know, I really like when it's tastefully done, and I just think sci-fi and fantasy are really great avenues for that. But yeah, so yeah, First Law, back to what I was talking about, is still enjoyable. I think I've just had like a mini lull, because I don't know, it's just nothing super interesting's happened for the last hour and a half or 2 hours or so. But we're in part 2, and Glocta just did some, show and tell to the council. So that was interesting. So just to sum up this week, I finished the first book in the Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. I think I said that right. Enjoyed it. 4 stars. Super fun escapism. There were some things that I didn't love, but I don't want to talk about them because it's a fresh release. I don't want to spoil anything. But it's great. I had a great time enjoying Memory Called Empire, and, still slowly consuming the First Law trilogy saga that exists. So that is my week, and next week we'll see what I decide to pick up from my library haul that was apparently a good idea for me to get. But yeah, stay healthy. Not just physically, mentally. If you need anything or anyone to talk to, I am not really an extrovert, more of an ambivert, but I require people. So I totally understand if you're cooped up right now and need someone to talk to. I have my Twitter, got my Instagram. That's all down below. You can really reach out to me there. More than happy to chat about anything. I'm, non-virus, virus, whatever. So yeah, even if you just want pictures of the cats, I am a full-service cat mom. I send pictures of them. I send videos. They're not always interesting because, believe it or not, he's like 13. Doesn't look it, but he's kind of an old boy. So yeah, stay good. Do, what you can. And also, I just found out my local bookstore is still they're closed, but they're selling books. So with my libraries closed, I'm going to try and use that over Amazon, just because I know they're going to be struggling for a little bit. That's not normally my thing, but I don't know. I'm in a position of luck that I am more secure than I think than most. So that's what I'm going to try and choose to do. I have a friend who has a local business that I'm going to try and put some money into. It's a board game cafe, which obviously, as I was explaining to them in the rest group chat, not really social distancing, playing board games, unfortunately. And so, you know, we all got to do what we're able to help the community, right? And even if you can't do anything, that's still fine. Don't feel guilty about it, please. This is just more me being like, you know, just expressing how I feel, because I love my community and I don't want it to just crumble after we all get through this. So yeah, do good. Sorry if that was a little rambly. Is the time. And, let me know what you're reading. If, you have a weekly vlog you do, you can, link it below and I'll go check it out. I can't promise I'll get to everything right away, but I do have more free time than normal. So you guys have a good week and day. Bye.